And the younger me, I'm like, what a prick. Like, listen, get with, like, you know what I mean? The opportunity you have, make the most of it, stay on track, be disciplined. But what?
Yeah, I would feel frustrated. Joseph Parker seems to have been frozen out, you know, at a time when he should be getting his world title shot. He's worked to get that, you know, more so than any other heavyweight out there right now. Oleksandr Usyk is not just holding up the WBO title right now, but he's holding up these fighters that we've been talking about on this show, getting their shot. And these fighters may have to mix it with each other before getting their shot. And that's sort of unfair, really, because one of them's going to lose and he's going to have to climb the ladder again.
Same again. Usyk said, no.
50-50.
Okay, so, and that's where it's fallen down.
Yeah.
You know, so basically said, no, I don't work like that. I've given you what you want. Because you're champion, I'm giving you the respect. You're champion. I'm bowing to you. But if I beat you, I'm champion. So you got.
The boxing world is in uproar, and the target of the backlash is none other than Oleksandr Usyk. After pulling out of his scheduled fight with Joseph Parker, the unified heavyweight champion finds himself facing accusations of cowardice, avoidance, and disrespect toward both Parker and the sport itself. What should have been one of the year's most anticipated bouts has now turned into a...
I'd like to have jumped in with Joseph Parker instead of...
No.
No, you don't fancy it? It was a good fight though, no? Bacoli?
Yeah. Storm of criticism, with experts, fighters, and promoters all lining up to condemn Usyk's actions. The dominant theme from voices across the sport is simple. This wasn't strategy, it wasn't timing, it was flat-out avoidance. Usyk, once celebrated as one of boxing's most daring...
I spoke to your man Joe Parker and he said, I will beat Oleksandr Usyk. What gives you the confidence that will happen as well, Andy?
Joe is the last challenge left. We can offer something that nobody else can. Craft, cleverness, doesn't take breaks, can fight the pace.
Champions is now being branded as a man running from danger, and at the center of this storm stands Joseph Parker, the Kiwi heavyweight, whose resurgence has placed him firmly among the most dangerous challengers in the division. Andy Lee, a respected trainer and analyst, wasted no time in calling out what he believes truly happened. For Lee, Usyk's withdrawal isn't about injuries, scheduling conflicts, or bigger plans.
No one who's going to beat him. I just think technically, physically now, he's at the weight and he's adapted and he's adjusted. I mean, he's even adjusted and adapted his weight for this fight individually. I mean, he put on how much weight and slowed the actual feet down because Daniel Dubois.
It's about fear. Let's call it what it is. Lee argued. Usyk bottled it. Plain and simple, he saw Parker in red-hot form and decided to run the other way. That's not the move of a champion. That's a man ducking danger. It's a brutal assessment, but one that echoes what many fans already believe. Parker has been on a tear.
He's a world title shot. He was supposed to get it tonight, and he will get it, 100%. And I'm rooting for him to become two-time champion of the world. It's not an easy feat. It's one thing, like, he was there. He was on the door of it today, in terms of with the Dubois fight. But it shows you how tough it is. It ain't just like how good are you. It's the stars have got to align. Just to get that champion in the ring takes a bit of like luck as well. So
taking on tough opponents and looking sharper with every outing, Lee insists that Usyk, rather than facing the fire, chose to hide behind excuses. Champions are meant to rise to challenges, Lee reminds us. Usyk's decision shows the opposite. Tony Bellew, the former cruiserweight champion who knows Usyk all...
Joseph Parker is struggling from inactivity at the moment because he's been so used to fighting back to back to back.
Yeah.
You
it's
know,
not his own fault by any means.
No, it's not a disturbance in the Bacoli fight that it was all going ahead, and you know, Bacoli jumps in. Sorry, you know, all of the disturbance of the Dubois fight.
That's right.
It's just he's in a rock and a hard place, Joseph Parker, because he knows the shot's coming, but he also
all too well went even further. Bellew dismantled the idea that Usyk is still operating on the genius level he once displayed at cruiserweight. People talk about Usyk's adjustments like they're some kind of masterclass, Bellew said, but they weren't. They were desperation. Slowing his feet down against Dubois wasn't strategy, it was survival. And against Parker's speed, timing, and power, that would have been exposed badly. Bellew's breakdown stings because it cuts through the mystique surrounding Usyk. Once hailed for his movement and IQ, Usyk now appears vulnerable, his style adapting not out of brilliance but necessity. For Bellew, it's no coincidence. Usyk backed away when Parker was primed to take advantage of those flaws.
Firstly, Joe Parker is on an incredible run.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's beaten Wilder when no one really wanted to fight him. He's beaten Zhang when he was like the bogeyman, and he's just beaten Bacoli, although, you know, I'm short notice. I mean, that was a dangerous fight to take. So
Absolutely.
I love Joe. I think he deserves an opportunity. Joe against Dubois, Joe against Usyk, Joe against AJ. They're all great fights.
Even Anthony Joshua, a man who shared the ring twice with Usyk, couldn't ignore what happened. Joshua made it clear that Parker earned his shot fair and square, yet was denied the opportunity. Parker deserved that fight, Joshua stated. He earned his place. To see him frozen out like that, it's not right. Parker should be in there, not sitting on the sidelines. Joshua's words carry weight. He has faced both Usyk and Parker, and knows firsthand the danger Parker brings. By siding openly with Parker, Joshua effectively confirmed what many already think. Usyk didn't step away because of logistics. He stepped away because he didn't want that fight. Promoter Eddie Hearn didn't mince words either. He pointed to the contrast between the two men. Look at Parker's resume. Hearn emphasized, he fights Wilder, he fights Zhang, he takes short notice opponents, he says yes to...
If Tyson Fury back in career, maybe we organization one more fight.
You want a would you have a trilogy?
No problem. I ready.
Can maybe go Manchester Red Old Trafford for Tyson.
Everything. That's bravery. That's a warrior mentality. Compare that to Usyk. He turns away the moment Parker's name is on the contract. The difference is night and day. Hearn highlighted Parker as the fighter chasing greatness, while Usyk is painted as the champion protecting himself. For Hearn, Parker isn't just another contender, he's the people's fighter, and by refusing to fight him, Usyk has exposed himself as something less than the champion he claims to be. Veteran promoter Frank Warren weighed in with blunt honesty. His view carries extra gravity, not just as a promoter, but as someone who has seen decades of boxing politics up close. When I say Parker deserves his shot, I'm not speaking as a promoter, I'm speaking as a man who loves the sport, Warren declared. Parker has earned every opportunity, through blood and sweat. Usyk doesn't want it. That's reality. Warren's comments reflect the mounting frustration in the industry. Parker has faced names others avoided, taken tough fights under difficult circumstances, and proved himself time and again. Yet despite all that, he finds himself locked out of the...
Do you now doubt Usyk's injury, Frank?
No, because I haven't seen the video. What sort of dancing is it?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, show me. Was it Ukrainian dance? I mean, he looks like he's suffering from a back injury there rather than dancing.
Do you think he'd rather not fight Joseph Parker?
Yeah, it caused us a problem because we were negotiating and working towards that fight taking place, and the fact that we had the negotiations, then the injury, that we wasted months on that, and that's given a little bit of inactivity.
Title picture. Warren put it plainly, Usyk isn't just dodging Parker, he's disrespecting the division. Boxing pundit Spencer Oliver echoed the frustration fans are feeling. For Oliver, this is about more than just one fight, it's about the state of the heavyweight division. Holding the WBO title isn't just about having a belt, Oliver explained. It's about responsibility, defending it, pushing the division forward, and proving you're the best. Usyk isn't doing any of that. He's hoarding the belt, blocking contenders, and choking the division's momentum. That's not strategy, it's sabotage. Oliver's words capture the wider consequences of Usyk's decision. By freezing Parker out, Usyk isn't just hurting one fighter, he's stalling the entire heavyweight picture. Fans tune in to see the best face the best. Usyk's withdrawal robs the division of clarity, while Parker continues to wait in limbo. Sky Sports commentator Adam Smith highlighted a crucial issue: time. Boxing careers are short. Smith warned, momentum is everything. Parker can't afford to sit idle while Usyk hides behind delays and excuses. He has worked too hard, beaten...
Yeah, I would feel frustrated. Joseph Parker seems to have been frozen out, you know, at a time when he should be getting his world title shot. He's worked to get that, you know, more so than any other heavyweight out there right now. Oleksandr Usyk is not just holding up the WBO title right now, but he's holding up the heavyweight fighters that we've been talking about on this show, getting their shot. And these fighters may have to mix it with each other before getting their shot. And that's sort of unfair, really, because one of them's going to lose and he's going to have to climb the ladder.
Too many top names to be frozen out. Smith suggested Parker must keep taking meaningful fights, even if they don't carry Usyk's prestige. A clash with someone like Fabio Wardley, for example, would keep Parker sharp and active. Meanwhile, Usyk's inactivity only deepens the contrast. Parker stays hungry, while Usyk stalls. Perhaps the most scathing take came from Adam Catterall, who pointed to the WBO's reported investigation into Usyk's injury claims. If you can dance around in a viral video, you can fight, Catterall blasted. Faking injuries is the lowest of the low. It's not just embarrassing, it's insulting. It's a slap in the face to Parker and to the fans. For Catterall, Usyk's credibility has taken a massive hit. Once respected as a champion, Usyk now risks becoming a punchline. Meanwhile, Parker's reputation only grows stronger as the man willing to face anyone anywhere. Strip away the excuses, politics, and back and forth, and the core issue becomes clear: legacy. Parker's legacy is built on grit, hunger, and the willingness to face anyone. He's seen.
He needs a big fight, and if Oleksandr Usyk is going to wait and maybe not fight until 2026, Parker needs to be back in the ring. I think it's a really interesting fight against Fabio Wardley. Wardley, of course, who's undefeated still, but lucky maybe some would say, after being outboxed round after round against Justice Hooney at his beloved Portman Road. But the last thing a puncher loses is that right hand, and that's all he needed, all she wrote that night.
Is that luck? As the people's champion, a man who takes on all challenges without hesitation, Usyk, by contrast, now risks having his legacy defined not by the fights he took, but by the ones he avoided. The heavyweight division is crying out for clarity. Fans want to know who the real best is, and that requires champions defending their belts against worthy challengers. By walking away from Parker, Usyk hasn't just ducked a fight, he's left the division in limbo. If Parker eventually gets Usyk in the ring and pulls off the victory, he cements himself as the people's champion, the man who fought everyone and never backed down. It would restore order to a division plagued by politics and avoidance. But if Usyk somehow steps up and beats Parker, he salvages his reputation, though the damage done by this cancellation won't vanish overnight. Fans have long memories, and many already feel betrayed. The question now is simple: who truly wants it more? Parker's hunger and warrior mentality stand against Usyk's excuse.
The WBO called the mandatory slot for Joseph Parker. That is scheduled to be the next fight. However, Mr. Usyk said, listen, I've got a few niggles.
And politics. Boxing is about risk, about proving yourself against the best. Right now, Parker embodies that spirit. Usyk does not. The criticism isn't coming from trolls or casual fans. It's coming from seasoned fighters, respected analysts, and veteran promoters. Andy Lee, Tony Bellew, Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Spencer Oliver, Adam Smith, and Adam Catterall. Different voices, same verdict. Usyk ducked Parker. Until Usyk steps up and gives Parker the fight he has earned, the shadow of avoidance will hang over his reign. His belts may call him champion, but in the eyes of many, Joseph Parker is the one carrying the true spirit of boxing. And so the division waits. Will Usyk finally stop running, or will Parker continue to be the avoided warrior, the man denied his rightful shot? Fans already know who they're backing. The backlash is real, and unless Usyk changes course, it's only going to grow louder.